Hello everyone. Today I'll be presenting my Google Data Analytics Certificate Capstone project. Throughout the last 6 months, I've learned about data cleaning, data visualization, and statistical analysis. The program covers key tools and technologies such as spreadsheets, SQL for querying databases, Tableau for advanced data visualizations, and R programming for more advanced analytics. I'm excited to share what I've learned with future employers, colleagues, friends, and family as a celebration of this milestone in my professional development. To model these skills, we'll be going through a case study about a fictional bike share company called Cyclistic. It's important to note that the data used here was altered and changed using a data license agreement with Lyft Bikes and Divvy out of Chicago, Illinois. Data points such as bicycle pickup and drop-off locations and times are being used, but personal information is protected. Before we start, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Dave O'Brien, and I am a data analyst who's had an extensive career working for the government, nonprofits, and for-profit companies. I've always focused on leveraging analysis to build a better tomorrow for all, and believe that the skills I will demonstrate here will be a powerful example of that. So, diving into the case study, the strategic goal for Cyclistic is to increase their subscriber numbers. They have realized that annual membership has proven to be more profitable than riders who pay for daily services. As the data analyst on the team, I've been tasked to figure out how annual members and casual riders use cyclistic bikes differently and then share business recommendations I have from this analysis. Currently, there are 3 rider types. For our analysis, we will refer to single ride passes and full day passes as casual riders, and we will refer to annual members as subscribers. Now, before we are able to determine any findings from this data, we need to clean it. Data cleaning generally involves removing duplicates, addressing missing values, correcting errors, filtering outliers, ensuring consistency, and standardizing, evaluating, and normalizing data. We also want to make sure that the data is reliable, original, comprehensive, current, and cited. This data set was from Q1 of 2019 and contained more than 300,000 rows and more than 4 million data points. Because of its size, it was very important to make sure that it was cleaned beforehand. To clean the data, I hid unused columns, calculated ride length by subtracting end times from the start times, and formatted date time data to time data. I also deleted ride lengths that lasted longer than 24 hours, as these large values are normally only created by a user accidentally not ending their ride on their smartphone app, or there was a glitch in the software. Once I established I had clean data, I was able to create pivot tables and draw data visualizations. As you can see, there are way more subscribers than casual riders, and the service is predominantly used on the weekdays. This table shows that the most utilized rental day is Thursday and the least is Sunday. Saturdays are the days that casual riders use the service the most. One other really unique observation was the difference between male and female users. As you can see, men rent Divvy bikes more than 4 times as much as women. In order to understand this gender discrepancy better, I jumped on over to the powerful data analytics tool SQL. While in SQL, I was able to filter gender and user types using the select, from, and where queries. I ran this query 4 different ways, and in doing so was able to look at the data from a completely different viewpoint. I was able to determine how many women and men were subscribers and daily users. So, this is that transformed data. And this is a horizontal bar chart that depicts it. Now that I understood the difference between genders and customer types, I needed to determine bike availability and usage rates, so I asked the question, when are bikes being used? I knew that in order to answer this question, I wanted to aggregate the start times into hour-long blocks to see if there were trends in the mornings, afternoons, evenings, or other specific times. I wrote multiple R scripts which were able to answer this question. Originally, I installed the readr package and loaded it into the software. I utilized an assignment operator for the CSV file and then began working with string R. From there, I was able to transform the data using substring and floordate functions. Next, I relabeled the new columns and created a new data frame. Finally, I was able to see which times were most and least popular. Finally, I reformatted the time column into hours, minutes, and seconds so R could read it accordingly. Once that was done, I was able to use ggplot2 to create a bar graph that shows when bikes are being used. And voila! I was even able to make the graph's color match the company's logo. With this transformed data, you can see that there is a surge around 8 in the morning and 5 in the afternoon. In the middle of the night, the service is utilized very minimally. As an additional piece of analysis, I wanted to look into where bikes were most likely to be picked up and dropped off. Knowing this could provide some insight into customer habits. In order to perform this function, I utilized the tidyverse package and pipes, which allowed me to count each time a bike was picked up and dropped off from every intersection in the city. I then ran an arranged descending pipe to show me which ones were at the top of those lists. Surprisingly, the answers to both of these questions were the exact same: Clinton Street and Washington Boulevard. The intersection of Clinton Street and Washington Boulevard is a very central part of downtown Chicago. Next to the very popular Ogilvy Transportation Center, the Presidential Towers, and the Chicago River, no wonder people are renting bikes here so much. Since our focus question is about comparing user data between annual members and casual riders, I wrote 4 more advanced SQL queries to compare the top 5 pickup and drop-off locations, comparing subscribers and casual riders. I then ran that data through Tableau to create this visually appealing chart that shows where the most utilized pickup and drop-off locations were. That data was then reformatted for Google Maps. This map shows that casual riders predominantly ride near the coastline, while subscribers stay more inland near the center of downtown. So, overall, what does the data say? Well, subscribers primarily use the service on weekdays and close to the Chicago River. Casual riders primarily use the service on weekends and close to Lake Michigan. This could be correlated to workers needing to commute to the city and casual riders wanting to explore near the lake. Bike rentals are the highest on Thursdays and the least on Sundays. Casual rides happen the least on Mondays. The most utilized rental times are 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And about 4 times more men use the service than women. In addition to this data, below are some other useful statistics to create an informed business decision. The first off being that the total rides for Q1 of 2019 was 365,069. The most common customer age was 30. The average subscriber ride length was 13 minutes and 53 seconds. The average casual rider ride length was 1 hour, 1 minute, and 56 seconds. It's important to note that per ride, casual riders are spending more than 4 times the amount of time with their rental than subscribers. The most utilized pickup and drop-off intersections for subscribers was Clinton Street and Washington Boulevard. The most utilized pickup and drop-off intersection for casual riders was Streeter Drive and Grand Avenue. The average subscriber age was 38, the average casual rider age was 30, the average male customer age was 38, and the average female customer age was 36. So, how should Cyclistic increase its subscriptions? I've come up with 4 different options that could expand into others depending on marketing strategies, financial data, and new rider data. The first is offer a Twilight Zone subscription package between 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. The second is offer a Weekend Warrior subscriber service because a lot of bikes are available on the weekend. Third, market more towards women. A large portion of the city's population is not utilizing the service, and I believe that effective partnerships and advertisements would increase our subscriber numbers. And lastly, offer a punch card subscription service where customers would prepay for 5, 10, or 15 hours of ride time. It would be important that the pricing structure makes sense for this to be profitable, so Cyclistic would not lose money from annual members downgrading their service plan. Well, that's all, folks. Thank you so much for listening to my case study. If you'd like to view my spreadsheets, they will be attached to this references slide. And finally, I'd love to connect through LinkedIn, or if you'd like to view more of my advanced data visualizations and code, you should look at my Tableau and Kaggle accounts. I will be updating them continually as I expand my portfolio utilizing R, SQL, Tableau, spreadsheets, Python, and Power BI. Overall, have a wonderful day, and I look forward to connecting.